Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Stories from our own community get the spotlight they deserve. The exhibit revealing local history. A new phase of construction begins for one Victoria Street project, what drivers can expect. And federal officials confirm plans for a massive $66 million facility in San Antonio.
Looking at some beautiful weather as we get on into the weekend. High pressure is going to give us temperatures. Well, it'll feel like springtime. We'll have your forecast coming up.
And earlier today, the Texas High School Coaches Association revealed their nominations for the Super Elite team. We'll highlight all those later.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is on assignment. Phase 2 of the Ben Jordan construction project is now underway. Work is happening on the stretch between John Stockbauer and Silverado Trail. Right now, drivers can expect lane closures and one-way traffic. A pilot car is being used to guide vehicles through the work zone so nearby homes and apartments stay accessible. City officials say the project is focused on preventing future problems and fixing areas near Lone Tree Creek and the bridge, where the road started to crack and shift. Crews will make targeted repairs before adding a new protective layer of pavement along the entire roadway. Officials say the cause of the fire at the Crossroads apartments is undetermined but remains under investigation. On Sunday, the Victoria Fire Department responded to the fire at the building near Lawrence Street, where emergency crews worked for several hours to contain the fire and secure the area. City officials say medical services on scene evaluated one person, but no one was taken to the hospital. 7 families were displaced by the fire. Very nice weather for early February. You know that, but the question is, will this continue? We know the man who knows. It's Mac Pettis. Give us some more nice weather.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to take care of you through the weekend because the night times won't be as cold either, as we're getting some very mild weather into the weekend. Tomorrow morning we'll be at 41. This morning we were at 32, and then we'll get up into the 50s for the early part of next week. So I'm telling you, it's going to be feeling like springtime. Now, I know some of you will say, well, wasn't the big deep freeze of 2021 in February on Valentine's Day? Yes, it was, but I don't think we're going to be doing that this year. We'll talk more about it coming up in just a moment. Don, back to you.
Thank you, Mac. If you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email at staff@crossroadstoday.com. A sinkhole on Interstate 10 in Houston caused by a water leak led to the closure of all eastbound lanes. It's the I-10 East Freeway near Normandy. TxDOT is investigating the issue and repairs are ongoing. Drivers are advised to use alternate routes and be cautious. Repairs may take several days. Federal immigration officials confirmed a massive warehouse bought on San Antonio's east side will be used as an immigration detention facility. City and county officials say the nearly 640,000 square foot building is along the access road of Southeast Loop 410. Documents confirm that the deal was for over $66 million. ICE said the expansion is focused on detaining people accused or convicted of serious crimes. ICE has not announced a timeline for when the detention center will become operational. Investigators in Arizona provided a number of new details in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC News Today show host Savannah Guthrie. The FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the safe return or arrest of those responsible. ABC's Olivia Rubin has all of the new details.
Today, the frantic search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie stretching into day 5.
We believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home.
But they say they have no suspects and no leads. A DNA test shows it was Nancy's blood on the porch.
To anyone that may be involved, do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma.
Authorities have said they believe Nancy was taken from her home in the middle of the night on Saturday, now providing this timeline after they say Nancy was dropped off at home after dinner and her garage door closed at 9:50 p.m.
At 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera. but there's no video available. They had no subscription.
Police say Nancy's pacemaker disconnected from her phone at 2:20 a.m. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings posting this video on social media last night, making this emotional plea.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere.
Authorities say they are still investigating the authenticity of ransom notes sent to various media outlets. In the video, the family speaking directly to the possible abductor.
We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
And on the ransom notes, the FBI says at least one of them was a hoax and an arrest has been made. They are still encouraging anyone with information to please call that tip line. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
And just got this in, a California man has been arrested for allegedly sending texts to the Guthrie family asking for Bitcoin during the missing mother's case. Over 1,200 pounds of methamphetamine were seized hidden in a commercial shipment of lettuce. Federal and state authorities said the shipment was seized in South Texas this week. Authorities said the drugs were discovered during a coordinated investigation targeting large-scale narcotics trafficking operations. As part of Black History Month, the Victoria Regional History Center is putting the spotlight on the people who helped shape the Crossroads. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley takes us through the public exhibit and shows how it came together.
Oh, are you kidding? I'm just so happy that y'all are coming to advertise.
What started out as a photo collage turned into an exhibit called History in the Crossroads, African American Influences. The exhibit covers a range of subjects such as education, civic outreach, and the contributions of local historians. Archivist of the Victoria Regional History Center, Mia Campbell, says it's important to pay attention to local history because it could be happening right next to you.
The Victoria Regional History Center aims to celebrate the history of the Crossroads area and the surrounding 6 counties. So for us to make an exhibit about individuals from the area was very natural.
Most of the historians in the exhibit attended F.W. Gross, which was named after Frederick William Gross, who was known as one of the brightest black educators in Texas. The purpose of the exhibit is to highlight community members who served the Crossroads in any way possible.
African American history is a part of local history, and it's just a natural part of all local history, so it makes sense that we would want to reveal it.
The exhibit will be open all throughout the month of February, and anyone is welcome to stop by. Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
Dallas has an eco-friendly plan to get rid of some invasive weeds. Goats. City officials say more than 250 goats will be grazing on privet at White Rock Lake for the next week. The city says each day an electric fence will be put up in a new section to ensure effective vegetation management. A shepherd will monitor the goats around the clock to ensure their safety. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, high school students face unexpected consequences for leaving class, the protest and disciplinary action that followed. And Waco students are learning to question what they see and hear online, the vital skills for the digital age.
The gowns, the venues, the DJs. It's a celebration like no other, but it's also a financial puzzle for families across our community.
Like, I want to do all of that. I want to have the dress, I want to have the crown, I want to have the party.
Quinceañeras, tradition meets economics. 25 News Now morning anchor Carolina Astrain explores how culture, celebration, and money come together in one of life's biggest milestones. Tonight at 10.
This week, hundreds of Central Indiana high school students took part in peaceful walkouts during school hours, protesting ICE. Matthew Fultz reports some of those students were suspended for the walkouts.
This was the scene Monday morning outside of Southport High School, as dozens of students walked out of their classroom and into the streets as part of a protest against ICE.
It's tragic. People are being taken away from their homes and being ripped apart from their family.
Junior Zed Osalum, Ava Miller, and Derek Stanley were among the dozens who participated.
I did this because I really wanted to see a change in the society, and I knew that that wasn't going to happen through working through the system. I knew that we needed resistance, and I thought this was the best way to do it.
But what they didn't know was the trouble they would get in for walking out of class.
I was very disappointed to hear that the disciplinary action was suspension. I feel like it was very uncalled for, and to a degree, I understand that there needs to be consequences. That comes with protest. You can open your history book and find that. But suspension seemed like a little bit of a reach to me.
The students say they're now facing 1 day of out-of-school suspension. 13 News obtained emails sent out to parents from the high school principal. The first email went out shortly after 11 a.m. saying that the students would just be marked as unexcused for the day. But later Monday night, the principal sent out another email saying there was, quote, a clear line between expression and endangerment. It also went on to say that students who left would face consequences in accordance with the student handbook.
We looked at the handbook. It didn't say any specific consequences for it, so it was very much just a lot of rumors circulating, and we never really got just a fair explanation or just a chance to explain ourselves or anything like that.
While the school believes stepping out of class was wrong, these students tell me they don't regret it.
It's a privilege to be able to use our voice, and we're going to use our privilege in any way we can for those who can't speak out. So as long as we have that First Amendment right, we're going to keep doing whatever we can to show that.
The U.S. announced an additional $6 million in humanitarian aid for Cuba amid escalating tensions and the island's ongoing crisis. This aid is aimed at those affected by Hurricane Melissa and is being delivered by the Catholic Church. Secretary of State Marco Rubio emphasized the need for immediate assistance, stating that the Cuban government has not interfered with the distribution of the aid. Layoffs hit recession levels last month. A report by job placement firm Challenger, Gray & Christmas says January had 108,000 job cuts. That's the highest number for a January since 2009, which was during the Great Recession. Before you panic, much of that number is due to just two companies. 40% of the job cuts happened at UPS and Amazon. Labor Department figures for December released Thursday also show the lowest level of job openings in 5 years. 2025 was the weakest year for job growth outside of a recession since 2003. To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Some students in Waco are learning to distinguish real news from fake news. Dominique Lee has the story.
The news stories that you read and hear are put together by real people, right? Not AI, people.
Video production students at Waco ISD are learning what news is and what news isn't.
A lot of kids these days aren't into news the way they used to be.
Will Burney leads the class instructing the importance of news literacy within their weekly newscasts.
And remember, line pride runs deep.
First thing I always tell students is when you read a headline and your first reaction is to get angry or to be like, oh, I know this, we knew this, to sort of take a step back. And then you're going to want to double check those sources.
Double checking is also critical since artificial intelligence can be found quickly online. But these students stay away from it during newscasts.
Having AI write that wouldn't be very ethical in our opinion.
However, Burney is teaching the students to spot AI.
Talked about the ways that you can spot it. A lot of times things look a little more smooth than real life does, or sometimes the resolution's really small because AI it can't make a big, 4K video.
Burney tells me awareness is key to helping these students spot the truth.
Because they're scrolling social media and just seeing what comes at them. And this is the first time that they've had to be selective and ask questions and think critically about their community.
From real news to real snow, Parts of the Carolinas were hit with another dusting of snow this morning. A quick burst of light snow fell on upstate and western North Carolina. The National Weather Service said slick travel conditions are possible for some areas there. For areas near the state line into South Carolina, snow was possible through the lunch hour with another inch or so possible Friday evening. That National Weather Service issued slick travel conditions Thursday for the far northern part of Greenville County. We're finding more snow here, Mac.
Well, winter is on the East Coast. It's been there for about a week. We are in the middle. We're looking at springtime, and on the West Coast, they're looking at, I don't know, feels like summer already. Look at the live shot there. We had a clear, beautiful day today. Temperature right now down to 63. We managed to get up to 67 as our high for 68 for today after a rather chilly 32 this morning. Tomorrow won't be, well, let's see, we're going to be warmer, not only in the morning but in the afternoon, and that goes all the way to the weekend. We'll talk about it coming up right after this. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Gorgeous day today, and we've got some spectacular weather as we head on into the weekend. Of course, high pressure is on top of us. That gave us the cool temperatures this morning, but it's going to be warming up over the next couple of days. I'm going to be watching this, okay? High pressure has been blocking everything from the West Coast. That's why everything has been extremely cold for the East. Well, now we've got the beginning of what we call an intrusion. This thing's going to be dropping through the southwest and on up into our area, giving us some clouds and some rain next week here in Texas, which is going to be interesting because it's not at all cold. It's a very mild weather system coming through, so there's no ice and snow associated with that. Tomorrow morning we'll be down to 41 and then 45 and then 50s as we get into next week. We're also going to be looking at the arrival of cloud cover. Now, winter continues here, and there's, of course, you know, the Carolinas that got that additional snow activity. There is the weekend, just snow all over the place. The northwest flow, that's what's giving us the cool, dry air. Well, you're going to see right here how that is going to be dropping. And then all of a sudden, as the low starts moving in, we finally see moisture rolling into Texas from the west coast. This is interesting because it's a very mild weather. This is not at all cold, and it looks like we've got a chance on Tuesday, Wednesday of getting some rain moving through across the state, not just us, but pretty much across the state. All the cold stays up here in the Rockies, so that's okay for them. But for us, moisture is important. The interesting part is that, you know, we want to play the odds here. We're betting against nature. Don reminded me that the big snowstorm in 2021 was on Valentine's Day. I'm looking at temperatures and Valentine's Day this year to be about 80 degrees. So I don't think we're going to be getting any more additional, you know, really cold weather. We may get a cool down, but we're not going to get any ice and snow, certainly through the middle of February. And then after that, we're into March. So, you know, there it goes. There you see the high temperatures for tomorrow. Still quite cold back east, but all of Texas, you can see it right there, all of Texas in the 70s, pushing 80 degrees as well. These are the high temperatures over the next few days. So we're going to be at almost 80 tomorrow. It'll feel like springtime. It'll be 80 on Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. These are all, let's see, 10, 12 degrees above our seasonal average. Well, actually, we should be around 67. That's a 30-year average high temperature for this time of year, but we're not going to be even close to that. So let's take a look at your day planner for tomorrow. We're looking at a beautiful day down along the coast. For those of you down in Calhoun County, we're looking at sunny skies all day long, a morning low of about 44, 45, and then getting up to 77 with no significant wind to be a problem. In Cuero, you've got a great outdoor day. Look at that. We start off in the 40s, but you'll get up to 82 in the afternoon. No significant wind to worry about. And we take a look at your 7-day. We've got a spectacular weekend coming in with high temperatures near 80 degrees right on through Super Bowl Sunday. And then we'll hopefully get a little bit of cloud cover and rain coming in from the West Coast. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have this QR code. We'd love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Don, back to you.
Thank you, Max. Sports Director Max Williams is here with the announcement you've been waiting for all week.
That is right, Don. We're here on Thursday, and after the break, we're going to highlight who this week's Athlete of the Week will be. So don't go anywhere. For this week's Bravo Honda Athlete of the Week, yes, the first time I said that, shout out as well. We're handing it out to Houtsville Sacred Heart boys basketball star Shooter Lacroix. Here's more for our Athlete of the Week. 6'5" Houtsville Sacred Heart boys basketball star Shooter Lacroix is this week's Athlete of the Week. Every time Shooter takes the court, he brings a strong presence and a humble personality. Along with playing for Houtsville Sacred Heart, Shooter also played competitive basketball for past 5 years with Victoria Warriors, and they were under current St. Joseph Flyers head coach Andre Thomas. He highlights how Thomas instilled into him to play team basketball.
Just learning to play physical, learning to play team basketball. Like, don't try to do too much. Just play how you play.
With Andre Thomas being a role model for Lacroix's career, his current head coach, Joe Bill, has also been a role model as well. He describes what lessons he's learned from him.
Play together, just play our style of ball, and just don't do too much offensively, just pass, don't turn it over.
This completed mindset is what Lacroix hopes to bring to Sacred Heart as they're searching to make their last push in district and get their first district win of the year. He still motivates his teammates to play their style of ball.
He's been teaching us everything from just how to handle different situations, just how to play together.
Lacroix hopes to guide Sacred Heart to the postseason, and they have a crucial matchup versus Shiner St. Paul on the road. Wish them luck, and congrats for being this week's Athlete of the Week. From this week's Athlete of the Week to this week's Fishing Report, where Max highlighting it's going to be good for barbecuing out there for the Super Bowl this Sunday, so it's probably looking good as well for fishing. And we're going to check out Coleto Creek. It is slow at 65 degrees, where you're going to have the best success catching some fish around that timber and brush piled up areas. Then at Port O'Connor, it is slow at 58 degrees, where trout are slow using kind of live shrimp overall. And then finally, East Matagorda Bay, water is fair at 55 degrees, and trout are on the flats biting on that artificial type of bait. Now, we had a lot of National Signing Day highlights from yesterday we talked about, but one school that had a lot of signings as well was Bay City. They had 7 football players signed, with wide receiver Jordan Johnson heading out to William Penn University, Devontae Harris going out to Texas Wesleyan University, James Copeland out to Texas A&M Kingsville, Jordan O'Neill to Hardin-Simmons University joining Jackson Marine Walker Dietz, and they had one baseball player as well commit too, with Ramiro Castellanos signing out to Dallas College Richland. And so if you want to see the full signing day commits for Bay City, just head over to crossroadstoday.com/sports. And we head over to Texas High School Coaches Association. They revealed full football super elite team honors earlier today. We're going to start with 2A Ganedo's wide receiver Austin Pena was named, and then Shiner defensive back Brody Pop was named out in the 2A ranks. Then in 3A, Yoakum Xavier Barnett was named Utility Player of the Year for the entire 3A area. And then for 4A, new Texas A&M Kingsville wide receiver committed Walker Dietz was named out there for the awards. And then finally in 5A, Victoria West linebacker Jacob Freeman was named. So congrats to all 5 of these men being named to the Texas High School Super Elite Team honors. And then finally, the industrial football team revealed their 2026 schedule to be in the same region district from this past UAL realignment. First, they open on the road for week 1 action versus Shiner. Then they host Yoakum the week after that in week 2. And then week 3, they travel out to Edna. So first 3 weeks, very difficult probably looking there for industrial. But when they get in the district, will be the same one. They open at home versus Tidehaven in week 5 for district action. And they close the year in week 11 versus East Bernard on the road. So if you want to see the full schedules for industrial football, same thing, just head over to crossroadstoday.com/sports. And that'll do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. Find out which famous American university now has a very meaningful ice sculpture. Finally tonight, Ice Irish. On the campus of Notre Dame, the cold temperature is actually bringing people together. It all started with one igloo that inspired a whole dorm community to create an ice chapel. They call it the St. Olaf Ice Chapel. The icy structure features pointed arches and a central tower that mirrors Notre Dame's iconic basilica. It's even big enough to walk inside. Once you step through, you'll find a crucifix. The creators invited the Notre Dame community to gather for Mass outside with the basketball team's chaplain, Father Pete, a fitting celebration of community spirit. That is really good right there. Wow.
Very well done.
That is stunning good. Oh, man.
Leave it to Notre Dame to make an igloo into a chapel.
I mean,
that's very good. That's very spiritual, very spiritual. Anyway, folks, for us, we are on the absolute opposite end of all that. We are looking at warming temperatures into the weekend, folks. We're going to be at 80 degrees right on through Sunday, which is great for those of you that are having little get-togethers. You know, we're asking people to let us know who's having the best party so that we can go to the party and determine if it's really a good party.
And to see if any of those parties are poolside when it's 80.
That's right. We're going to check them out, making sure that everything's okay.
Right.
7-layer dip is what I'm looking for.
That's his job. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tonight at 10.